Hey, we're back on the franchise. We finished all the Ernest movies. Logan over there, Logan Adair. I'm Daniel Ehrenberg. We watched every Ernest movie, all nine of them. You've never done that, and if you have, why? All right, we at least have this dumb podcast we do, and we'll record our thoughts on these last three Ernest movies that I watched all yesterday. Uh, I watched Slam Dunk Ernest in the morning after we finished recording Comp Beasts, and and a franchise update. Check that out. And Then I watched half of Ernest Goes to Africa, went to work, came back home after midnight, finished Ernest Goes to Africa, and watched Ernest in the Army. And then I slept. All right. Then I woke up, immediately went into Ernest notes, and now I'm here to talk about Ernest. All right. I'm Ernested out. I don't know about you, Logan. How's Ernest treating you this week?
Great. I loved these movies.
I
No. I don't
think
know.
part of me loved Slam Dunk Ernest.
Did did they get worse than Ernest Rides again, do you think?
No,
They never got that low ever again.
I don't think so. I think all three of these are better than Ernest Rides Again. I think Ernest in the Army comes slightly close to that Nadir.
You could
But
argue in the army or Africa.
No, I would argue that Africa was a better experience than I was expecting it to be.
That one is pretty offensive, not just with the Africans. There are like rape jokes in Ghost to Africa.
I know.
It gets crazy.
And also the part where he sees a black tribe and he says, "You have to know how to talk to these people." And then he walks up to them and says, "What's up, my bro? What it is? What it is?"
Yep. And his character, Hey You. I love that section of the film.
What's that? Hey, you.
He says, "My name's Hey You," and this every time they go,
Oh,
"Hey You," and he
is
pretends like
is
that
that
they're
the
talking to
Indian
him.
guy?
That's right.
He goes in brown face and he disguises his voice to talk like this a little bit.
I don't think you had to do it.
Well, I gotta be honest. When I started doing it, I was mostly just doing how he deepened his voice, but I automatically went into that pattern, and I
The
apologized.
character ran away from you.
Right.
I couldn't help it.
I'm too good an impressionist.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
But this was fun. I'm glad we're done. If you're out there and you have watched all these for a purpose, like if you also have a podcast, I'll listen to it. I want to hear what you have to say about Ernest.
Well, a couple people watched it with us. I was blown away
Crazy.
by Matty Rags.
I'm
Looking at him,
disgusted by Matty Rags.
I know he finished it before we did too. He like watched
Wow.
these three last week.
Wow. Incredible.
I know he's mystifying.
What do you rate him?
Mostly ones,
Good.
but he's amazing. He's been with us probably since the beginning or close to it,
Before
and he
me, he was like before I was on here.
yeah. I remember he watched along with Children of the Corn and like some of our worst Leprechaun.
So he's the real MVP, Matty Rags.
Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna dedicate this episode to him.
I don't. He'd probably not feel good about that, or maybe he would. He watched along. I don't fucking know. But Slam Dunk Ernest, I'm excited. I'm wearing my Doc Rivers basketball shirt. Got it
Now
at
who's that?
Doc Rivers.
Yeah.
He was a basketball player. Now he's a basketball coach. Coaches
Do
the
you
Milwaukee. He's not a very good basketball coach, but he's around.
do you think that once his basketball coaching career is over, he could become an archangel of basketball?
I hope so. Yeah.
I hope so too.
He has a son that was in the league too. He wasn't that good either. Doc
What was
Rivers is
his
probably
name?
Austin Rivers.
He didn't get his doctorate in basketball.
I don't believe so, no. But
Mm.
he was like What I hated most about Austin Rivers was he was like always on Doc Rivers teams. Like Doc Rivers always coached him.
Oh,
It
that's
was pretty
funny.
pathetic. Not
But
always. He was
it's
sometimes
like
on.
Bronny now, baby.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway,
We have so much Ernest to discuss,
we do.
and we're gonna start here with the first of the three chronologically, aka the seventh Ernest movie.
hmm And the
Slam,
fifth best Ernest movie.
according to you,
I think probably is, yeah.
I I agree. I agree, Logan.
Better than Africa
Uh,
Army Rides. Maybe
and
there's another one.
school,
School.
yeah. Um, so this Ernest, Slam Dunk Ernest, by the way, the only title of an Ernest film that doesn't start with the word Ernest.
Right.
All
Maybe it made the
right.
least amount of money. People didn't know what it was.
Is that true?
I said maybe. I don't know what happened.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it didn't do great, but at least Disney distributed it. They didn't like produce it or anything, but they had like worked out their differences with John Cherry and that they offered to release it on home video. Um, Slam Dunk Ernest comes out June 20th, 1995. All right. On a budget of $3 million. It goes straight to video. It's written and directed by John Cherry. It has a co-writing credit by a fellow named Daniel Butler. So proud of all the Daniels that worked on the Ernest films. And yeah, originally it had a longer script that involved Chuck and Bobby, but they were
Oh
cut
man.
because of they were apparently trying to poach the sneakers in the
Okay.
script. Yeah.
That's fun.
Uh-huh.
For what
And
purpose? They know like are they trying to be good at basketball?
no, they're I don't know. They're bad guys that maybe wanted to sell the sneakers for drug money or something. And
Hell
then
yeah.
there was also a scene where Auntie Nelda is in the crowd of a game and Chuck and Bobby shoot her with a tranquilizer dart, but they miss her because it hits her in the neck and she has that neck brace to protect her.
Okay, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
When every other time we see that character, it's clearly Ernest doing that character.
I know.
This would be a separate character. She's in the stands like
I
watching an Ernest basketball game.
I think so.
Holy
Unless he's
shit.
hiding out from these characters who were cut from the movie.
That's crazy. I'd love to see how they incorporated that.
Mm.
But I'm glad she didn't die. That neck brace saved her life.
All right,
Like
so let
Trump
me.
when he turned his head. Right.
Oh, thank God he survived that, and
That
he
is
lives.
crazy that he lived.
He lived,
That's nuts.
and now he's our president of the United States of America, Greenland, Canada, and Mexico.
I feel like we're like Doctor Strange, like we went to like the different timeline,
Yeah,
like another timeline opened in that moment.
Mandala, whatever. All right, let
The
me walk
Mandela
you.
effect?
Yeah, I think that's part of that is like timelines change. Um, let me walk you through Slam Dunk Ernest. All right.
Okay.
All right. So Ernest, he is now working as a janitor, as he does. That's probably the thing he's best at,
hmm
you know. When his magnetic powers aren't getting in the way, that is. And but it's for a freelance company that are hired to clean a mall.
Oh, I didn't realize this. I thought he worked at the mall.
No, the company, because they at one point the owner of the mall threatens the company that they're going to lose their license to clean the mall.
Right, you're right.
I pay very close attention to the mechanics
And they are
of the
called
Ernest
Clean
films.
Sweep. That's the name of their business, but they also use it for their basketball team, which is cool.
Right. That doubles as a term for winning a game.
I think it's more
I
like a
guess
series, like 4-0, like it's a clean sweep.
maybe they shut out a game. They won the basketball game 106 to nothing.
That's never happened.
It might have happened. Have you never seen a
Here.
Harlem Globetrotters
You're
game?
right. I've never done that. Have you?
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
maybe I did as a kid. I
They're
don't
still
remember.
going. You should go. They've got to go to Vegas.
You can root for the Generals.
What's that?
That's the team they play.
No, why would I root for the other team?
I don't know. It'd be interesting to. I read that one time the Globetrotters lost track of the score. They accidentally lost to the
No.
Generals. Yeah.
Are you there to see a win? I'm not there to see a win. I'm just there to watch them have cool tricks.
Well, you want them to win as well because you want them to really stomp all over the other team,
It's not
and
really
then
why I'm
go
there. I got to be
and
honest.
then go boop 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 boop.
I don't know that part.
That's the Globetrotters theme.
I assumed it was, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, he's working for this company at the mall. All right.
He's got 5 other guys with him.
Right. Five other
They
guys
make up a
work with
basketball
him.
team,
They're all
except for
black
him.
men. It's five black men as well as Ernest P. Worrell. All
Hmm.
right. Now, tragedy strikes. A calamity happens while they're supposed to be cleaning, but instead are playing basketball.
Yeah.
All right. But don't even worry about it because even though it's completely his fault, Ernest takes the fall for the thing. And the guys are so impressed with this, even though it had nothing to do with them. It was all Ernest fucking up. Um, that they say, Ernest, what can we do for you? We'll do anything for you. I think probably in that moment they were thinking they'd get Ernest a hooker or something. This is probably a guy who does not get laid, even though we know that he probably did with that bank teller.
I
Um,
don't think he did.
you don't think he did with the bank teller?
No.
I do.
Charlotte.
I and I think he gets laid in this movie with Mrs. Tillermuller.
Irma? Wait, is this the one with Irma?
No, I don't know Irma, but it's the one
All right,
with
this is the one that like she's a nerd, but then she's sexy.
yeah, that's right.
He got laid by her?
At one point he's like dating her. All
It's
right.
it's fake.
What are you talking about? It's fake.
It's like then she changes.
Yeah, no, I know she changes, but I think they're boning down.
But wait, I don't think so.
You
I don't think
refuse
Ernest
to
ever has
believe.
sex in the whole series.
I disagree. I think he has sex in the end of Ernest Goes to Camp and in the middle of Slam Dunk Ernest.
They made it. It was intended to be he had a girlfriend at the end of camp, and then they said no, he's asexual.
That was when Disney was in charge, Logan.
And then you make up your own ending.
I believe that they've sexualized him since Disney came out of the picture.
I don't see it.
All right. Now listen. So he doesn't want a hooker. This is beside the point.
Nope.
He wants to be part of the basketball team. They say, Jesus, that's hard for us, but you can join, but you have to sit just on the bench the whole
Right.
time.
Mascot.
All right. Right. So Ernest is excited to join the team, but he can't even do this. His as a white man on a black basketball team, he will not sit on the sidelines. He refuses to be ignored. He so he distracts the team by cheering too hard and by offering lemonade when they're trying to map out a play,
Mm-hmm.
and then ultimately by knocking an entire thing of basketballs all over the court so that they get a technical foul, lose the game.
Would that be a technical foul? I had a question about that.
Yes.
You don't think they would just call a timeout and pick up the ball? Do you think it would actually be a technical foul?
I don't question any of the basketball logic in this movie. especially not when it bounced off the wall of the arena at the end and went in, and that was the winning score.
And the
And
announcer's head, that was my favorite part.
yeah, and the announcer said, and I also did not question it when somebody says that a basketball game is in the third period.
Interesting. I didn't catch
Yeah,
that. That's a hockey
yeah,
thing.
yeah. That's a hockey thing.
Bad
But you
job
know
by
what? I
them.
just accepted it.
All right, fair enough. So no,
Uh,
that's a technical foul, whatever. And we
yeah,
lose. We lose
they
the
lose
game.
the game, and they're like, Ernest, get the fuck out of here! You fucking lost us the game. Yeah, how do you lose a game for us from the sidelines? We're so
That is
good.
impressive.
Yeah. So he's feeling a little hard on himself in the locker room when the archangel of basketball comes down from the sky, and it's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and he gives him a pair of magical sneakers, and these sneakers have a mind of their own. And when he has the sneakers on, they sort of talk to each other. They talk to
Oh,
him. They
I
make
hated
a
that
little
noise.
sound that goes me 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 me, and but see what they do is the sneakers make him extremely good at basketball.
It's like Mike. You ever see that?
No,
You put on the shoes, you say "Make me like Mike," and then you start playing basketball like Michael Jordan.
let's cover that next
It's a
week.
little Bow Wow. No, we can't do that.
Yes, we can.
We're already doing something else.
All right, all
Unless you
right.
want to do that. That's
No,
fine.
it's fine. It's fine.
I think
But we
Jesse
should
Plemons is in it. Or maybe that's
really.
the second one. Maybe that's the second. I don't remember.
All right. So he's a great basketball player. So they let him back on the team. All
Right.
right. But there's good news and bad news, Logan.
Mm-hmm.
The good news is that the tournament they're in the city tournament, the winning basketball team will get to face the Charlotte Hornets in an exhibition game.
Very
All right.
cool.
So that's great publicity for these fellas who all have hoop dreams. And Ernest, but here's the bad news. Ernest, he's so good at basketball that overshadows all the other men on the team.
They're not very happy
Okay.
about that.
And they begin to resent Ernest, even though they're winning games. All right. But, Ernest is a man with a conscience and a heart, as we know. So he's able to discover this right before the game with the Charlotte Hornets. All right. So he says, I'm not going to play in this game. He throws his sneakers away. All right. Right in the garbage can. And
Did the kid find those?
yeah, the kid, yeah, right. That kid, he's the son of one of the players on the team.
The
And,
yeah, what his
and
name?
I don't remember,
Barry
but
is the captain. Quincy is his son.
he begins to idolize Ernest instead of his father. And that's a real problem.
But then he
Okay.
realizes he was using the shoes and cheating.
That's, well, yeah. All right. So then he idolizes his dad again. And especially after he gets a tryout in the NBA because of how good he plays in this exhibition game.
Yeah.
All right. Even though he appears to be 36.
He's very
Um,
old. They're all very
yeah.
old. And
Yeah.
all they seem to do is dunk the basketball. So much just dunking the ball.
Did you notice that one of the players on the team was one of my favorite basketball players, Juana Man?
Really?
Yeah. Remember
No.
Juana Man?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Well, she dresses up like a lady to be better at basketball. All right. That's something that the Republicans are really rallying against these days. And he changes his name to you want a man,
Mm-hmm. Joanna, man.
even though he's a lady.
Right.
I've never understood that title. And but he's in this. It's
That's
exciting to
cool.
see. Yeah, yeah. So anyway, Ernest says that the team needs to win without magical basketball sneakers, and then win through the hard work. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And so the team, they all put their hands in and they go, hard work. And then they win the game using said hard work. All right. And then uh, at the end of the game, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar he discusses basketball with his nemesis from hell, sort of like the demon of basketball, and it was another win for heaven.
Yeah.
Okay, and we really learned a lesson about theology, and it was sort of like in Lost when Jacob and the black smoke monster talk on that beach.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Ripped off Ernest.
Yeah, yeah, they ripped off Ernest. All right, so that's that movie.
Wow. I didn't like in the big game. Both of the teams were wearing blue. Both the
Oh, I didn't
Hornets
even
and the
notice
clean
that.
sweep, both wearing blue. Didn't like that very much.
Yeah, I
Ernest had
mean,
a
well, the Charlotte Hornets have an established jersey. I think at this point, the clean sweep has to change colors for the game.
totally, totally. Yeah, they had like their pretty like Hornets had like their teal blue color, and then the clean sweep had like just a like a blue, like a cerulean type blue. I like the gump dunk. He hit it with the ping pong paddle, and then he said a little gump dunk.
Oh, because Forrest Gump was
Forrest Gump
very
with the
good at
ping
table
pong.
tennis.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Um, Whatever. I liked the announcer. I thought that she was good.
I didn't. I
You
think
didn't
she.
like?
By the way, I think she's the one that calls it the third period.
Well, that was
What
probably in the script.
what's her name?
Lawson Chamber,
The
Doctor
love
Love.
doctor.
Doctor Love is the character. Lawson Chambers is the actor. I
All
enjoyed
right,
her. I thought she was cool.
I was less than impressed with her,
Mm. But
but
I thought we didn't talk about Irma too much. But I thought she was the MVP. She plays like the nerdy character, and then she gets like
oh,
seduced by the recruiting guy, and
I found her insufferable,
she's the
Logan.
best.
I disagree.
Best performance in an Ernest film,
Best performance in an Ernest film. That's
possibly.
crazy to me. I don't know. For MVP of this one, I I'll go with that dad.
Really, the main guy,
I think it's
Barry.
is it are you sure it's Barry? I think it's this
Yeah.
fellow Richard Leacock as Walter.
What? No.
You're saying Lester Barry as Willie?
No. He played Barry Worth, Silk Cozart, and
Oh, this
his son
guy.
was Quincy
Yeah, you're
Worth,
so
Aaron
right.
Joseph.
You're so right. Yeah. So I'll go with Silk Kozar, who I actually read was hired late in the game. Like they
Oh,
filmed a couple days with a different guy and it
wow.
wasn't working out.
It's like Back
Imagine
to the
getting
Future.
fired from an Ernest movie.
It's true. That's crazy.
Yeah. Um,
Who's the
um
MVP?
LVP. I don't
Juana
know. I was
Man?
thinking of going. No, obviously not Juana, man. I was gonna go with Dr. Love, but you loved her so much.
I did. Loved her. I'm gonna go with the mall like manager type guy. Was he playing Hitler?
There was a little bit of a vibe.
He had like a patch on his arm and he had a mustache. It wasn't like the
And
it
I think
wasn't
his
like
name
the
was like Mr. Moloch.
and he was walking like he would do like the military march and he would
Yeah.
I don't know, he just seemed very Hitler to me, what he was
Okay.
doing.
All right. Well, LVP to Adolf Hitler then.
Yeah, that guy was fucking out of control.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Ernest says golly Bob howdy. You know what that is? Golly
I
Bob howdy.
assume a Southern aphorism that is spoken every day. Have you heard it a lot?
I've heard it from Toy Story. Slinky Dog says it. And so I looked up
Really?
earlier if Toy Story had come out yet. It had not. It comes out in November, I think. But there's a thing in where Slinky Dog says, "Golly Bob howdy," and then here he says, "Golly Bob howdy,"
He's
and then
really
Irma
into
said
that.
it too. And I've only heard uh, what's this actor's name again? I've only heard Jim Varney say it. And
That
it was the
it's a Jim
craziest thing.
Varney original.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a Jim Varney thing. Crazy, golly Bob howdy.
Yeah, he spices up the dialogue with them sometimes, sort of like how Hugh Jackman adds in Bubs when he plays
That was him.
Wolverine. Yeah,
That's not a comic thing.
No, it is a comic thing, but he likes it, so he
Oh,
adds it to the script.
oh, that's fun. That's pretty cool. So
Yeah.
he's read the comic. That's cool. Some people don't. Some actors are just like, oh, I'm good enough.
Well, Hugh Jackman was like a nobody when he got that role.
True. That's true, actually.
Um. All right. So, what do you give this movie?
Two?
All right, I'll give it a five. And uh, great work.
Yeah, I agree. Great work to you as well.
All right. Do you want to? Did you want to do this list?
Oh yeah, we forgot to do 1995 list. So here we go. My number 10 is going to be Casino. I like that more than other people. Number 9, Wong Kar-wai's Fallen Angels. Number 8, Friday. Number 7, Dead Presidents. Number 6, Seven. That's weird. Number 5, Living in Oblivion. That's great. 4, Safe. 3, Heat. 2, Golly Bob Howdy, Toy Story. And number 1, Before Sunrise.
Oh, I thought you were putting Slam Dunk Ernest at number two.
Oh, sorry to disappoint.
All right. Here's my top 10. Number 10, Leaving Las Vegas. Number 9, Kids. Number 8, Billy Madison. Number 7, Fallen Angels. Number 6, Living in Oblivion. Number 5, Safe. Number 4, Dead Presidents. Number 3, Heat. Number 2, Before Sunrise. And number 1, Seven.
I was wondering where the hell's Seven? You love Seven that much?
I fucking love Seven.
Holy shit. Seven's good. Um, all right, great list. Love your list.
Thank thank you so
Kids.
much.
That's fucking hilarious.
What? I like kids,
Should just bump it to number 11 just because.
but I want it on the list. So
Okay.
you're forced to reckon with it.
You're right. You're right.
Mm-hmm. All right,
Remember when
Logan.
it ended, she gave that guy AIDS?
Yep. That's all I think about when I think
I
about
think about that.
kids.
Yeah, that's like one of the coolest things that ever happened in a movie.
Yeah. Using AIDS as a weapon.
It's nuts.
That would have been a
Uh
good plot for an Ernest movie.
yeah. If he only
Um,
lived. When did he die? Did they stop because he died? What happened?
Pretty much, yeah.
So if he
We'll
lived.
talk about it when we get to the last one. I've got all the stories, Logan. I've
All right.
done earnest research.
Okay. But we're going to Africa.
Let's do it. All right. So John Cherry, what an auteur. He writes and directs this one all on his lonesome. All right. Coke Sam's no longer part of the Ernest team. And it's because they've moved production to South Africa. And Coke Sam's was like, I'm not doing that. And so yeah, they shot Slam Dunk Ernest in Vancouver, but now like they have less money, only a $2 million budget, and apparently it was cheaper to shoot it in South Africa. So
That's cool.
they bring the production over there. They film Ernest Goes to Africa, and then they take 1 week off and film Ernest in the Army, all in South Africa. All right.
Okay, that's fun.
Yeah.
Jeez, these movies suck, these two.
I, yeah, they do. They do. I can't argue.
Really not good. But we do have Linda Cash back for this one. That
And
was
she
a
was great. She's the MVP of the movie, probably. Just
everyone she's in, she was the MVP.
yeah, it was great to see her. She's got pigtails in this one.
She played Renee
Um,
Loomis. That's interesting.
Renee, Renee. I feel he says the name Renee 100 times in this movie. Renee,
Yeah.
Renee,
Loomis though.
Renee. His voice is sounding rough. So Jim Varney at this point is not in good shape. Okay. He has lung cancer and he is very depleted and he's having to take a break after every shot, every take. He's having to leave the set, just go back home sometimes just to rest.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And he's smoking a pack every time he gets in his car
Yeah,
to go
pretty
back
much.
and forth.
So they're having a hard time making these movies.
Mhm.
What
And
What was
he's
it?
irreplaceable too. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
I know. It was like the saddest IMDb trivia I've ever read. Let me
For
find it.
this one.
Yeah. No, for in the army, but I mean, they filmed him back to the back, so it applies to both.
Right.
Um, all right, here. Jim Varney was getting noticeably weak during filming. His reactions were normally immediate and forceful. By then, they seemed to drag and lose some of the comedic force. He
Mm.
also had to take a break after every shot. He was also a heavy smoker and had a shortness of breath, which John Cherry assumed was just a result of his lifestyle. But Cherry had to rework some of the scenes to try and hide a slower Ernest. Varney excused himself from dinner more than once. He would be tired from the day's shoot and want to go to bed early. So
Jeez.
sad.
Yeah, that's awful. I don't like this. And they're like trotting him out like a circus animal.
I
Performed for Jim Varney. I mean, he's
I
getting
know.
paid, but
I know. It says this wasn't intended to be the last Ernest film, but Jim Varney was looking to branch out into other roles,
what? You're
particularly
earnest.
drama. His dream role was to play Hamlet on stage. And in one of his final interviews, he said that in hindsight, looking back now, I'd like to have cut in and out of Ernest more, but I didn't. It was a steady check. I would go from one movie to the next, cruising along. Then you realize 10 years have passed and you're still doing the same character.
Oh man.
Yeah. And then you die.
He played Slinky Dog
I know. I know.
for two Toy Stories.
The plan after these last two Ernest movies, John Cherry wanted to go off and make a pirate movie, and he was going to do it with Jim Varney. Jim Varney, no Ernest in this movie. It was called Pirates of the Plane, and it was going to be about a pirate that comes forward in time from like the 1600s or something. So it's like an old timey pirate in modern day. I assume he's just raping women, and he, but Varney died before they could get it made, and
Yeah.
that he eventually did get it made. Like this movie exists, but Tim Curry plays the Jim Varney role.
He loves pirate stuff,
Some would say an upgrade.
right?
Not me.
Yo, you love Tim Curry.
I know, but I'm a Varn man.
That's not true. You like Tim Curry more than Jim Varney.
I don't know.
Jim
Not
Varney could
after
have been in
reading
Clue.
those. You don't think Jim Varney could have been a Clue?
No way.
He could
He
have
couldn't have been
played.
Pennywise either.
It's funny. I thought about Martin Mull a lot during the making of this movie. There's like the two bad guys that are always rolling around. I felt like it was a Martin Mull guy and a William Sadler guy, and they just got like two randos.
Who's Martin Mole?
He's the dude who played Colonel Mustard in Clue, for fuck's sake.
I don't know that person.
He's a big name.
Never heard that name. You're lying.
I'm not lying.
William Sadler, I know, not the other guy.
Hmm.
But in this one, we're in Ohio, and he's a mechanic. He's not a janitor. Works as a car mechanic.
Yeah, but how'd he get this job? He doesn't know anything about cars. You
He
see
was a
him fix.
taxi driver
He can drive a
in
car, Logan. That
Christmas.
doesn't mean he can fix a car. Cars are
It's true.
complicated machinery. All right. He's hanging around in this lady's front seat, just like pulling shit from her dashboard.
I think it
And,
showed he was sort of incompetent. He fucked it up and he got fired immediately.
but how long had he been working there? Like I have to imagine this is the first car he worked on his first day.
I think so too. I think if not, it the first few weeks on the job, at least.
He almost kills himself, crushes himself against the ceiling in one of
Yeah.
those car racers.
Yeah, that's what they call them.
Yep. Yeah, I know a
Car
lot about
raisers.
mechanics.
Yeah. Yeah. You're the one to ask. Ernest
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
knows more than you.
I never argued that.
Right. Just that he couldn't
But
be a
I'm not
mechanic.
trying to be a mechanic, Logan. I'm not going out for that job.
No, no, that'd be crazy.
Right.
But so
But
he,
I know the word carburetor.
yeah, you heard
And
of a spark plug,
yeah,
your
I've heard of
brake
that.
pad, your
Engines.
engines, your blinkers.
rims.
Rims, okay. Um, hubcaps,
Yeah, yeah. Um, uh,
windshield wiper fluid.
hey, hey, rotate your tires.
Yeah.
All right, do
I like that.
that.
You ever hear
Yeah,
tread on your tires? You
tread
gotta
on the. Yep,
make
you
sure it's
have
not
a
low.
jack up the car
Yeah, if you gotta
sometimes.
change a tire.
That's right.
I know how to change a
Uh,
tire. I could do that by myself.
all right, there's rear view mirror.
Great job. Objects in the mirror, maybe closer than they appear.
Yeah, I
With the
do that from
dinosaur.
Jurassic Park. Yeah.
They rip it off in Toy Story too, remember?
They rip it off. They
Rex,
reference it.
Rex is running at them and they show it.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so cool.
All right. What else? Anything more about cars? Should we move on?
So much stuff.
All right. What else? Tell me more about this movie. I of course described all of Slam Dunk
Oh man, is
Ernest,
this my turn?
and I took a 9 hour break halfway through this movie, so it's a little bit
When did you
fractured
nap?
for
Is that when
me.
you like? Because yesterday you hadn't napped.
I hadn't slept. Yeah.
Yeah, or you
So
hadn't got slept at all.
I napped.
You get like power naps in
I
on
napped like
breaks.
twice. Yeah, like I napped like between movies and then again a little bit uh in the middle of Ernest Goes to Africa before I had to work.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
All right,
All
so I'll do
right.
this one.
Great.
We somewhere in Central Africa, it tells us a guy steals some jewels or whatever, and then he drops them off at a flea market, and then Ernest wanders by and picks them up.
Well, because Ernest has a new love object that he's trying to impress.
Renee.
Okay. Renee. And so he buys the jewels as a gift to her so that he can give her jewels while asking her out. It's a very forward move. It shows the girl that you're serious. All right. This is not just, I'm not just asking you out on a date, trying to get my dick wet. I'm serious about you. I bought jewels.
She already knows he's kind of serious about her. He'd already hit on her previously, right?
He'd hit on her, but he had never asked her out. Okay. And he's making the move with a gift.
Right.
All right. That's a big deal. Um, although he's not great at hitting on girls. He does that thing where he smushes his face against the window.
That's a good move.
You think that's a good move?
Yeah, I have 100% rating with that move.
Well, that's you, Logan. Even with a little smush face, you're a handsome boy. Yeah.
um, I I kind of don't like that move from Ernest. He'd already asked her out. She said no. Now asking her out with a gift, it's sort of like boxing her in a corner. It's like bribing her a little bit.
But you know what? It's at least different. Then if she says no with the gift,
You have zero
you
shot.
gotta stop. You gotta stop. You can never even talk to this girl again, as far as I'm concerned.
I feel like if I was rejected by somebody, I would just never talk to her again. I'd be so dejected by being
Oh, it's
rejected.
humiliating. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it.
Have I ever been rejected? Yeah, of course I have, but never like real bad.
Yeah,
Like
never deterred you.
every time I was rejected by a girl, I knew that was a possibility. It was never a thing where like I was like, I'm definitely getting this girl, and then she rejected me.
Oh, right. Before, yeah, you never, right, right. You always think you have a chance.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, all right. So he picks him up, but he doesn't just give her just the jewels or whatever they are, diamonds, whatever. He turns them into a yo-yo, which is very funny. He
That's
doesn't see
right.
the value in the jewels, so he makes them a yo-yo.
The yo-yo comes in real handy later when he wards off um a man in a duel by wielding it as a weapon. And also uh by making an African tribe think that he is a godly man of magic because he can do things like walk the dog.
Exactly. Yeah, he won over the tribe. That reminded me of Star Wars a little bit, like C3PO, like this fucking dummy. They're like, oh, he's a god because he told us
Oh,
the story of Star Wars.
yeah. Right.
But they're called the eyes of a goalie. I guess we need to know that. I don't know. But I like the part where Ernest is at home turning the diamonds into the yo-yo, and he breaks out a saw, and he's like, "Oh no, my finger!" And then he's like, "Oh, phew, phew." That was very funny. Like
That's
he
pretty
thought
good.
his own finger was gone. But by the way, what did they flush a fish down the sink? That was real, right?
I don't think it was a real fish, but
That looked like a real fish. It was
I
flopping
did
around.
feel bad for him. Like Ernest had this pet fish, and he dropped him down the. It was an accident, but he turned on the garbage disposal. Like that fish died a painful death.
Right. That was pretty terrible. But I saw a real fish go down the drain. It looked like they actually sent one down
I
there.
I don't think that was a real fish.
Well, good job to them getting a fake fish to look like a real fish. But she rejects him. She says he's a small time schmo or whatever.
Schmo. Yeah, that's right. And
Yeah.
then this fucking bitch. First of all, I couldn't stand this character. I thought that Linda Cash was great, obviously, but this character was such a nuisance in this movie. Always getting herself kidnapped, always
Hmm.
whining to Ernest. How about that time she's like stuck in that thing and she's like, Ernest, can you at least save me for heaven's sake? Come over here and save me.
I think
And
she just
I
wanted
was,
him to step up, though.
but you know what? He fucking does. All right. And he doesn't punch her in the face like I maybe would have.
Jeez.
And well, fuck her. And
She's annoying. She deserves to be punched in the face.
yeah, she deserves a little Hawaiian punch.
Wow, I've never heard that.
All right, listen, I would never hit a woman, but
I don't know. You're making it
I
seem
would
like you might.
I would condone Ernest hitting this woman.
I would not. That's terrible.
All right.
She just wanted to step up. Like when she was like, remember when Illinois Smith kissed the girl? Remember that she just wants him to step up and make
I
a move and
love I
be
love that whole thing. Illinois Smith and the curse of Hitler's brain. This is like a fake Indiana Jones they're talking about. I
yeah,
kept trying to think of great Indiana Smith scenes.
Illinois Smith.
Illinois Smith, right?
In the last one, or in one of them, Rides Again, Indiana Warhol. Remember? We have this
Oh yeah, that's
obsession with
right. We
Indiana
love Indiana
Jones,
Jones.
and there was that one scrapped movie that was going to be Indiana
Yeah,
Jones. So
yeah,
we
that's
really
true.
love him. But yeah,
Yeah.
that was fun. I
Um,
like the part where the guys show up to capture her again. She's like, "You got suits on and shades and a tie. You must be the bad guys." I sort of like that
right,
line.
right.
That was pretty funny.
But listen, Ernest steps up, and then at the end of the movie, he asks her out again, and she's like, "You
You're
know what,
too cool for
Ernest?
me.
You're too much of an adventurer. You're too much of a wild man. I'm looking for just some ordinary schmo,"
That's
which is
right.
exactly what she called him when she turned him down at the beginning of the movie. Logan, to this I say, women. Am I right?
I think that's smart in the script though. They're really tapping into like women have no idea what they want, you know?
Boy, oh boy,
She's
has
so
there ever
smart.
been a greater truth in an Ernest film?
Yeah, this one's pretty smart. So we go camping, whatever. He turns into the woman and he's like has her husband's ashes and she wants to like scatter
Ernest's
them and
are
then throws them in his
Ernest
face.
Ernests are from Mars. Auntie Neldas are from Venus.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a good way to put that, and I think you really nailed it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Sorry, I was distracted. What was the last thing you said?
He turned into Aunt Nelda and he threw ashes in somebody's face.
Great to see Aunt Nelda in this one. I popped.
Me too. I always pop for Aunt Nelda. Was she in the
Mm,
last one? Had to
no,
have been. No, not in the last
she
one.
in Slam Dunk.
No, 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 in the army.
Oh, I don't think she was.
Maybe not. I don't like that. But oh my goodness, I forgot about this part. So Ernest dresses up as a woman, another woman, not Aunt Nelda, and he has on like a doo 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 doo
Oh,
hula thing and like the face thing, like from Sex in the City too,
yeah.
or from
I thought it was gonna be Andy Delta when he pulled up the thing that was covering his face. I thought you were gonna see the neck brace, but you didn't.
Oh, that'd be pretty funny. That'd be good.
Yeah,
You can tell it wasn't her though. She's like normal.
right.
But this guy's attracted to her. He like really takes
Right. He's
liking
like,
to
oh,
Ernest.
who's this new woman in my harem? I must fuck her, and it's Ernest, right? And so he gives Ernest a turkey leg, and Ernest eats it under the thing.
Yeah,
But
very
he
funny.
does pull up the whole thing so
But
you
he's
can
like,
see
does it
his
quick.
mouth.
He does it quick.
What? Like invisible to the naked eye? You can tell it's a man.
I don't know.
And so, but so he pulls out just the bone. He's eating all the chicken off of it, and he does the same thing with something else, doesn't he?
I don't know. It's really what I remember, but I just remember it being crazy. I was like, really? This is I didn't expect us to get here.
Yeah.
But it doesn't let up from there. We escape that place. We're running down the road. There's this guy that pulls
You
over
know what
like,
it's sort of like? It's like when like Bugs Bunny dresses up like a woman, and like Elmer Fudd's attracted to
okay, I can see that. Yeah.
him. Yeah. Anyway, good.
This guy driving, he sees like he says this. He's like, "Oh, two women in the middle of nowhere. I'm gonna rape them." It's like, well, basically what he says, and he
He
pulls
doesn't
over.
say I'm gonna rape
Okay, he
them.
doesn't say that, but that's the
Listen,
intent.
the
That's
implication is definitely that he plans on violating them with his big hard cock. But
okay.
you know what? He never uses the word rape. So as far as I'm concerned, this is an innocent man you're talking about.
You're like coming at me for taking it too far, and then you were like, he was gonna use his big hard cock on him.
I'm doing my new incel character today on the show.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah.
I can get behind that.
It's anti comedy.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Well, I
yeah.
just found it hilarious. But
Good.
he's like, these two women, I'm gonna get them, and then but then we like knock him out, and there's a big car chase. There was this rhino, Dorothy, not
Oh
Dorothea.
yeah,
I wanted to say that.
great,
Just
great Taylor
Dorothy,
reference.
just
Yeah,
Dorothy. And yeah, we pull out the yo-yo for the tribe. We like ooh, walk the dog. Can you do cool tricks with the yo-yo?
I could walk the dog.
Holy
I
shit, really?
used to be able to do that one. You remember he like makes a little thing and it goes back and forth like a pendulum.
Yeah.
I used to know how to do that.
That one seems kind of easy. You just like I don't know how you do it, but
Yeah, you don't fucking know. You just
if
think
I
you could
had
do
one,
anything.
if I had one, I could do it, I think. But we do like a bat. He has like his weapons for the big battle at the end are like a stuffed animal and a banana. It's like scary
And
movie.
a rubber chicken.
Rubber chicken, right? Yeah, and the other
Yeah,
guy is like
that's
a mace
at
and
one
an
point he
axe.
empties his pockets and that's all that's in there. But yeah, then he has to have a duel with this man.
Right, but
And
we beat him, no
we
problem,
do with a yo-yo.
with the yo-yo. And
Around the world.
yeah, around the world, he should have said.
No, around the
Around the
world.
world.
That's a fucking yo-yo trick.
I know, but around the world. Because
The
that's his name.
world.
That's
I
his
get
name.
it. That's smart. Yeah.
And we give the diamonds back to those people. They put them back in the eyeballs of that big statue thing. And yeah, she turns him down because he's too adventurous. And then he puts on a hat with an ostrich egg inside of it. He was going to give that to her, but she didn't want it.
Yeah. That
And then he
was
goes,
gross.
ew. He does the
I,
thing.
ew. I feel like there's a lot of slime in this one. It's
I
like
think that you're right
probably
about
the
that.
second slimiest movie other than Ernest Scared Stupid. And
Yeah, with all the booger
like
lips.
although the next one's slimy too. Remember there was that scene where he is like doing push-ups into a jellyfish?
I didn't like that. Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah. It's
There's a lot
getting
of
sucked out of
gummies.
his
Remember the gummy
face.
segment?
Oh, that's it. Maybe that's the slimiest.
Is that slime? That's like just spit and
It's
gummy.
pretty slimy. I mean, it gets all stuck to his face, and then he has to pull it off the guy
Mm,
using a truck.
I didn't like that.
It is gross.
Yeah. But then the gummies were like elastic and they pulled the truck to him. That didn't make any sense.
Why is he doing this on the first day of boot camp anyway? Put your candy away. You're in the
He
army.
doesn't know. He's dumb.
He does it to himself. Like that's the thing. I feel like I sympathized a lot with Ernest early on in the movie. Like just like he's things keep happening to this guy. But watching like Slam Dunk Ernest and then like Africa or like all his problems are self-made. He does it to himself. If he could just calm down, if he could just sit on the fucking bench at a basketball game instead of pretending to be a cheerleader, his team could win a game. If he could just fucking not eat candy at the first day of boot camp, he'd be fine. All right. If he could just fucking, I don't know. Africa's sort of not his fault, if I'm being honest. But
Wow.
well, because he doesn't know those things are jewels. He gets caught up in that.
That's true. He just
Yeah.
notices their beauty and wants to give them to his lady.
Right. 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 All
But
right. So, what do you give this one?
one,
Okay, I'll give it a 6. And who's your MVP?
Linda Cash for this one.
Yeah. And who's your LVP?
I don't know. The Hey
I
You
got,
character, like that
oh
whole
my
thing.
God. Holy shit. Maybe. That's a really good one. Yeah, he's in straight up brown face in this movie. It is fucking weird.
It is weird. I'm gonna go with that.
All right. I also didn't like the mustachioed bad guy that thinks he's a lady.
Yeah, but I don't know who those people are is the problem. You know?
Yeah, it's
Like
true.
I just don't remember their names.
All right. Do you want to do a 1997 list?
Yes, I do. So
Okay.
my number 10 is going to be a documentary, Hands on a Hard Body.
Love it.
A
That's on
documentary.
mine.
That's the name of
Yeah.
it. My number 9, Contact. 8, another documentary, Four Little Girls. Number
Hmm.
7, The House of Yes. Number 6, The Ice Storm. 5, In the Company of Men. 4, Goodwill Hunting. 3, Jackie Brown, which we can cover one day, I learned recently.
Yeah.
Number 2, Titanic. And 1, Boogie Nights.
Okay. That's a good list, Logan. I've got House of Yes and Good Will Hunting just outside the top 10. Maybe those should be on the list.
It don't have to be.
It's a good year though. Eve's
House of Yes,
Bayou
I
didn't
thought would
make
be
it
on
either.
yours.
It's number 11. Number 10, here's my list. Number 10, maybe this is nostalgia, but I love this movie. Chasing Amy. Number 9, Hands on a Hard Body. Number 8, Four Little Girls. Number 7, Deconstructing Harry. Gotta get my Woody on there. Number 6, The Ice Storm. Number 5, The Spanish Prisoner.
Mm.
Number 4, Jackie Brown. Number 3, Starship Troopers.
Oh my.
Number 2, In the Company of Men. And number 1, Boogie Nights.
Okay, Love in the Company of Men there. Is Starship Troopers a franchise?
Yes,
Yeah, we got to do that next year. That'd
I
be really
know.
fun.
I know. I've never seen any of the sequels either.
Okay, and I've never seen any of them, so that'd be awesome to do.
Mm.
Is that Verhoeven? Paul Verhoeven?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Ernest in the Army. We're working at a golf course.
Oh yeah, he's doing that thing where he's like collecting golf balls. And this is another thing. I'm like, if he could just go out there and collect golf balls like a normal person, these people wouldn't feel compelled to aim at him. All right. Like at one point, he gets hit with a bunch of golf balls all at once. And I'm like, that was your fault, Ernest. If you just like stay in your fucking cart or like do it, like he's going out there, he's trying to tempt them.
Yeah, he's hanging out on the hood. The way he does it.
Yeah, I hated that. He's got another Rube Goldberg device to help him pick up the golf balls. I'm like, just do it.
I think it's just
At,
so that we can have the ending come back to the begin. The way he's like picking up the landmines on the front.
Yeah, maybe. Oh yeah, that's right. At one point he's talking about a Titleist golf ball, but I think there's maybe a little bit of ADR. They call it like Vitalist or
Hmm.
something. It was like after they filmed it, Titleist was like, we don't want to be referenced in an Ernest movie.
How would they even hear about that?
I don't know. Maybe
That's a
they
good catch
just
by you.
maybe they just changed it to like be uh like to cover their bases just in case anything like that happened.
Right.
But the joke's on them, Logan, because I watched the movie with subtitles and the subtitles say Titleist.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I never heard of that. That's what, like that's a brand of golf balls?
That's right. That's the number one brand of golf balls there is.
It's not like
Probably the
Nike or
one.
Wilson or something?
No, no. They make
Shit.
golf equipment, not the balls. The
I seen
balls are
Nike
made
golf
by
balls.
well, they're not like Titleists. They're not good like that. And that's probably the brand of ball that Tiger Woods' son hit a hole in one with.
Wow, I'd love to know.
Me too.
We need to research that.
Hmm.
But all right, so they almost got away with it.
And they would have if it wasn't for those
What do you got?
those what is that Scooby Doo?
Those meddling kids.
Those meddling golf ball companies.
There we
All right.
go.
Th-
Nailed it.
Thank you. As
Anti-comedy at its
always, as
best.
right. Thank you so much. All right. So this one, John Cherry's our director again. He co-writes
He's
it
in
with,
it too.
yeah, he is. Apparently, just because they were in South Africa and they couldn't find a single person who could do a Southern accent, so John Cherry had to step up.
Okay.
Uh, all right, so Jeffrey Pillars and Joseph Dattore also have writing credits on this one. It comes out February 24th, 1998. I remember that year I really wanted to get that from my girlfriend on Valentine's Day. She was like, please get me the new Ernest movie. Get me Ernest in the Army. And I was like, I'm sorry, babe. It comes out 10 days too late.
Mm, you should have dumped her too. Why does my girlfriend want Ernest 9? I gotta do something with that.
I punched her.
No.
Uh, all right. Yeah, this is it. The original title for this one was Storm and Ernest, but they changed it to Ernest in the Army. I think Ernest Goes to the Army was also in discussion, but they just said Ernest in the Army. Now, John Cherry was a Vietnam veteran.
Oh,
He
wow.
says that this movie is his most personal Ernest film.
I think you could tell. There's a line when he's trying to recruit him. He says, he says it's like summer camp, but for real men. Is what he says to him about
Yeah,
going to do the big rig riding. So
that's
it
right.
seemed like
That's the whole thing. Is Ernest wants to drive a truck, and I guess he doesn't. He has the ability to get hired as a mechanic, but he doesn't have the ability to get hired as a truck driver.
well,
So
he was
he
a
has a
taxi driver. Remember, he was a
yeah,
like cab driver.
yeah, I know, but so why can't he just drive a truck?
Or can he move to a new city and drive a taxi again?
I don't know.
Seemed like a
But he
fun job.
wants to drive a big rig, okay? And he's got a childhood friend in this movie. I got so excited when they said he had a childhood friend. I was expecting some Vern to pop up.
Mm. No,
And
I lost track of Vern.
I never stopped thinking about it. Could you believe we watched 9 Ernest movies and Vern is only in one of them?
Oh, really? What, Christmas?
Christmas, that's it.
That's crazy, actually. It's so famous, right?
I know it's from the commercials, I guess, but it doesn't really come up in the movies.
They
There was
should
even a
have utilized it
scene.
more.
There was even a scene in I don't remember Slam Dunk or Africa where like he goes to a house that's not his, and he says like, "Don't worry, I know the guy who lives here." He
Hmm.
says that, and I was like, "Oh, this is setting up a Vern scene. That's exciting." Never happened.
Yeah, dropped it.
They're
That's
like
very
edging
sad.
us with Vern and never giving us the release we need.
This is the second podcast in a row you talked about edging. I think you
Well,
did yesterday too, for some reason.
well,
Oh, you said Rubina in the challenge in the AI arena was edging you with how close
right,
she
right,
kept getting.
yeah.
Right. I was like, what was that?
Well, it's no nut December, Logan. So
That's not a thing.
I know, I'm joking.
Um, all right. So what happened? Oh, we go into the army. Oh, there's this news reporter, Cindy Swanson. She's cool.
She's great. She reminded me of that character from Universal Soldier.
Of course, yeah. I feel like there's another one too in another franchise. We've had like so many of this reporter type character.
Yeah, yeah.
It's also like April O'Neil, basically.
I thought, since it was the last Ernest movie, maybe Ernest will end up with her, but she fucking
Hmm.
hated Ernest.
Was not very into Ernest. You're right.
Yeah.
But I liked her. I think all the women they get are basically the MVP of every movie.
Yeah, but I also think you want to do that because you sort of feel bad for them. Like, here's a
I,
nice lady trying to
I
make an
think we
acting
bring it.
career for herself, and she's acting opposite Ernest. But I mean, you are right. Like, I wasn't as big into Slam Dunk one as you are, but
Mm.
the lady in camp, the lady in jail, the lady Linda Cash who
Cash,
shows up 3 times, and the
the
lady in
girl
this.
in Christmas, the 16-year-old whore that you
Yeah.
kept saying,
Oh yeah, yeah.
she was great. All the girls they get are really great.
Yeah. Yeah. You know.
But anyway, there's also this kid who keeps wandering around the movie, and he had the same name
Oh,
as John Cherry. They're both named Ben. I did not like that at all.
but this one's like Ben Adir.
Ben Ollie. But why are
All right, yeah.
they kept calling him Ben? I hated that. But whatever. So I like when the kid shows up though. He's like, I have this thing, I'll sell it to you for $50. And then Ernest is like, no, $60. And the kid's like, all right, fine, $65. And then Ernest says, I only have $100 bill. And then he's like, all right. It kept getting funnier for me every single time. I was like, oh, that's good.
Wow. He steals from Ernest though. This kid, he's sort of like Aladdin. He's like hanging out by the markets, stealing apples and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But if Aladdin never found Jasmine,
right, right. But he almost dies, and Ernest saves his life.
yeah, true.
Hmm.
Uh, so and then we start being a cook. I thought we were trying to drive big rigs, but now we get put in
Well,
the
that
kitchen.
was wild. Yeah, that was just it. It was just an excuse to do a cooking segment. It was just like when they do a cooking segment on like daytime TV, but it was like Ernest doing it in character,
He's a Rachel Ray or
just
whatever.
adding shit to a bowl and shit.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. But the Cindy Swanson gets kidnapped at a certain point, and she usually works on Channel 3 news, but she says Channel 32 news, and that makes them realize she's being stationed at Sector 32.
That's right.
And Ernest is
He's
like, what does 32 mean? And in the background it says Sector 32, real big behind him. And he's
yeah.
like, 32, what is that? What could she mean?
He
Probably
figures
just
it out though, man.
he did. I thought that was pretty funny. Maybe this one
Yeah,
has a few
yeah.
things going for it. But he goes the distance of the whole desert by himself. He really liked her, I guess, but it didn't really
Well,
work
there's
out.
like a whole Lawrence of Arabia parody at one point.
Yeah, that was good stuff, I guess. And we spit pancakes. We like beat a guy with a
I
pancake.
hated though because he makes these really hard pack. There was that thing where like he kept fucking up in the kitchen. He says, "Hand me syrup" to the kid, and
Mm.
the kid hands him like motor oil, and he
He
fucks
just
up his
drinks it.
pancakes real bad. And then he almost destroys a tank by throwing one at
You're right. You're totally right.
it.
And they kissed at the end, but he's like, "Oh, sorry, my lips peel off all the time." And then she runs away
Oh,
from him, like, "I gave you a shot, and then your lips peel. Now it's game over."
and you know what I did in that moment?
What?
I went,
It was
"Ew."
so gross. Why did his
Yeah,
lips? Was that from traveling the desert? I guess
I guess so. I don't know. It was fucking
is
disgusting.
sunburned or whatever.
Was this the one? Which one of them had a bunch of Mission Impossible references? He kept saying, "Your mission, if you choose to
My
accept it."
voice will destroy in five
Yeah,
seconds.
my voice will self destruct in
I
five
think that was the
seconds.
beginning of this one.
I think it might have been Africa.
It might have been. He like falls into the bushes or something. Might have been Africa. I don't remember.
Maybe it was this one.
I
I
really
don't
have no
know.
idea. But I mean, that's this one, I guess, right?
Yeah, I hated it. I'll give it 6. And my MVP is the United States Marine Corps, and my LVP is the Middle East.
I agree on both fronts. But I'm gonna go MVP Cindy Swanson. But the Middle East can kick rocks. All right. So should we rank 98 or Ernest films? Let's do 98 first.
All right, let's do 98. Then we'll rank Ernest films. Then I'll tell you about some attempts at reboots
Oh,
that I read about. Okay.
all right.
Um,
Number 10, I've got Out of Sight, which I watched the other day. Number 9, A Bug's Life. I freaking love A Bug's Life. Number 8, Run Lola Run. 7, American History X. 6, Buffalo 66. 5, The Big Lebowski. 4, Happiness. which is also my favorite Taylor Swift song. Number one. That's a good
it's,
one.
it's a good one.
Three, The Truman Show. Two, Rushmore. And one, new number one, A Simple Plan. I love A Simple
Wow.
Plan.
Look at this guy. All right. Here's my top 10 of 1998, gang. You ready for this?
Oh, yeah.
Number 10, American History X. Number 9, Out of Sight. Number 8, He Got Game. Number 7, Run Lola Run. Oh, I also have 6, Buffalo 66.
Love it.
That was the impulse. Number 5, Snake Eyes. Number 4, Happiness. Number 3, The Truman Show. Number 2, The Thin Red
Oh,
Line.
shit.
And number 1, Rushmore.
No Faculty. That didn't make your top 10.
I love Faculty. I love Simple Plan. I love Velvet Goldmine. I love Your Friends and Neighbors. I love Fucking Amal. The Last Days of Disco. It's a good year, but that's my top 10.
All right. That's a good top 10. Where was The Simple
Mhm.
Plan?
I have that at number 18.
All right. Um,
Sorry.
no, it's a good year. This was like one of those years where I had never seen that many movies from it until a few years ago. And I was always like 98 because it's the year I was born. And I was always like 98's a weak year. But then I started watching more movies from it and it's pretty good.
No, there's a lot of good stuff. My my fours go all the way up to number 36.
Wow. Mine go to 17. So
Well, my list is 190. I've seen 191 movies from 1998.
that's a lot of movies. I've only seen
Yeah.
43.
Hmm. Yeah, man. You need to watch more movies, bro. You got to check out Small Soldiers
I've seen
and
that.
Patch Adams
Why are you telling me to
and
watch those?
well, I'm just saying fill out your list with these. Jerry Springer and Ringmaster,
I'd rather watch like The Thin Red Line, wherever you had high.
The Blues Brothers 2000,
We could cover that, right?
Krippendorf's Tribe. That was a little bit like Ernest in the Army. It was like Richard Dreyfuss pretending to be an African tribe.
Okay, that's good.
And he at one point he and Jenna Elfman have sex while in blackface
Both of them?
together. Yes.
Him and Jenna Elfman.
What?
It's so hard to be an actress in Hollywood. You gotta be Jenna Elfman and have sex with Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah, it was so hard for Jenna Elfman. She had to do a lot of work, like her dad being Danny Elfman. Uh,
Jenna Elfman's dad is Danny Elfman.
yeah,
Who did Danny Elfman marry?
I don't know.
All right. Should we rank Ernest films?
Sally? Did he marry Sally? That
Sally
was a
Elfman.
no. That was a joke because he played Jack Skellington. And
He
uh,
played him.
yeah, yeah,
Yo, I'm learning so much about Danny Elfman. Bridget
yeah.
Fonda. He was married to Bridget Fonda.
Oh yeah, wow, impressive.
I think they met on A Simple Plan. He made the music for A Simple Plan, and she is in A Simple Plan. Anyway,
Yeah.
Ernest rankings. How do you want to do it?
Ooh. All right, let me just give it to you.
Okay.
I'll go from 1 to 9. That's gonna be easier for me.
Okay. All right.
The best Ernest movie is Ernest Goes to Jail.
Okay.
All right. The second best Ernest movie, I'm gonna say Ernest Saves Christmas. The third best Ernest movie, Ernest Goes to Camp.
Mm.
The fourth best Ernest movie, Ernest Scared Stupid.
So that's the first four off the
Right,
board.
right. The fifth best Ernest movie, Slam Dunk Ernest.
Okay.
The sixth best Ernest movie, I'll go with Ernest Goes to School. The seventh best Ernest movie, Ernest Goes to Africa. The eighth best, Ernest in the Army. And the ninth best, I would never say there's a worst Ernest movie. The ninth best Ernest movie, Ernest Rides Again.
I love it. We have very similar lists. My number
Mhm.
one is your number one. Ernest Goes to Jail. My number two was your number two. Ernest Scared Saves Christmas. Ernest
Yeah.
Saves Christmas. My number three is Ernest Scared Stupid. And my number four is Ernest Goes to Camp. We swapped those, right? My number five, and I think we matched the rest of the way down. Five, Slam Dunk Ernest. Six, Ernest Goes to School. Seven, Ernest Goes to Africa. Eight, Ernest in the Army. Nine, Ernest Rides Again. Yeah.
We matched completely, except we swapped Scared Stupid and Camp.
Yeah, and that makes sense because even that week we felt differently. But I think it's because I had seen Scared Stupid. I had a little nostalgia for it for some
There
reason.
you go. There you go.
But
And I had seen Camp.
yeah, you loved that other guy, the villain.
Oh yeah.
He was your MVP.
He was great. All right.
Camp
Hey,
kick a butt. Remember? Oh,
I'll never forget it.
at least they gave us
I'll
that.
never forget it.
So, what's next? Do we have any comments? I feel like
Oh
nobody
wait,
cared to
let me
comment.
tell you about Ernest some more.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So after this, the plan was to do one more with Varney called Ernest and Son, and maybe pass off the torch.
Mhm.
But that never got made. Okay. So, but then after Varney passed away, John Cherry in 2012 was going to reboot it again. All right. There was this comedian from Kentucky named Billy Crank who did a bit where he would dress up as Ernest to do an Ernest impression. And John Cherry was so impressed with this guy that he developed a new Ernest movie called Son of Ernest.
Wow.
And it was going to star this fella, Billy Crank. And if you go to Billy Crank's IMDb page, one of the first pictures you see is him dressed as Ernest. It's beautiful. And
I think that could have been the worst Ernest. Son
it
of
could have
Ernest
been Son of
with somebody
Ernest.
else? Are you kidding
Yeah,
me?
yeah, I know. But it never got made. And then they were still talking about it years later, but John Cherry passed away in
Oh, good. I didn't know he was
2022.
dead too.
Good?
I wouldn't say that. There's this really funny part in the movie Miss March. You ever see that movie?
No.
Where Hugh Hefner had like a girlfriend die when he was young, but she was really ugly, and the guy's reaction to it was, "Oh, good that she's dead." And I always thought that was very funny.
Oh my god.
So sometimes I
All
do
right.
that.
So that's all I got on Ernest. Next week on the podcast, the franchise, the one you're listening to,
Mhm.
um, we're gonna do a one-off to end of the year. Uh,
Then we got a big one, sort of.
yeah, Smile and Smile 2. All
Yeah,
right.
we haven't seen Smile 2. We've been waiting for the
Yeah, that's
podcast.
new to us. We'll see Smile again, starring one of our worst Nepo babies, Sosie Bacon.
Sosie
And
Bacon.
yeah, and then Smile 2, which
You know who's in that?
I don't know, Lady Raven.
No, it's close. It is like a concert. There's like it takes
Yeah,
place at a concert, some of it. It's the girl who played Jasmine actually in Aladdin, I think, right?
in the live action Aladdin.
Right? I forget her name,
I don't remember her name either.
but she's cool. Very beautiful.
Remember Will Smith played the genie?
I do remember. She was also remember she was in the Charlie's Angels reboot, right?
Oh, that was so bad.
Naomi Scott
Yeah, yeah, right.
from Lemonade Mouth,
Oh, wow.
my
Okay.
favorite film. She's so good. She
All
sings
right, so
"She's So
that's
Gone," the best song in that film. Of course, that'll be the outro now. Thank you to Lemonade Mouth.
ugh. All right. All right, you edited. I gotta be nice. All right. So next week on the show is Smile, and then we're getting it Nolan Rossiter.
Yeah,
How did he get this honor?
I forget. Oh, he
Oh,
won the
he
1,000 YouTube subscribers. He was
right, right, right. It was he won like a little raffle on our YouTube page.
yeah.
So
Get us
he
to 2,000. You can win next time.
Yeah, so he requested some movies. He gave us a few options. One was Naked Gun, but we're gonna do that later in the year when the Liam Neeson one comes out. And what was the other one I said?
It just became a franchise, didn't it?
Yeah, it was something that's in theaters right now.
I'm
Fuck.
forgetting. I'm
Yeah,
forgetting.
me
You don't
too.
have the list with you?
But and I closed it. Maybe I still have it open. Oh, I do. Sonic, right?
Sonic.
Yeah. So, but we'll do that at some point, probably in 2025 as well.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go with another one of his choices, The Lion King.
Whew.
All right,
Big one.
big one. All right, so we're gonna talk about The Lion King. That's a movie from 1994 with Jonathan Taylor Thomas,
We
and
don't have to rank that year. We just did it.
great. There's The Lion King 1.5. All
Rosencrantz and
right,
Guildenstern, basically.
right, with Timon and Pumbaa. Then there's Lion King 2 colon Simba's Pride.
Yep. That one's
Mm-hmm.
sad. I remember that one.
Now
Very sad part.
that title is a double meaning because he there are things he has to be proud of, but also when a group of lions are together, that's called a pride.
Well, it's a triple entendre. They live on Pride Rock. You know about that?
Holy shit! Yeah, you're right.
Pride Rock.
Yeah. So and then we'll also be covering the John Favreau live action Lion King,
Whew.
and which I saw in theaters,
Same with my
and
brother.
with a girl I'm glad to be rid of. And then we're hoping not to have to go to theaters, but we will if we must.
We're willing. But
We're
if
gonna
Ross, we're counting on you, Ross. If you can
we're
get this on
counting on
Ross flick,
Ross. You fucking better keep an eye out on leaks. All
yeah,
right.
for Mufasa. See if you can find that between now and 3 weeks from now.
Is it just called Mufasa or is it like Mufasa colon the Lion King or something?
Mufasa something or another.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what
yeah.
it
And
should be called.
that's the new Barry Jenkins film.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll give Logan an excuse to watch Medicine for Melancholy.
I'll do that. Yeah, that'd be fun. Mufasa the Lion King is what it's called.
All right, yeah.
Have
So
you seen that
that's
Medicine for Melancholy?
yeah, I've seen all his shit, I think,
Oh
except for this
shit.
Mufasa.
Hmm.
So yeah, 5 Lion King movies, but next week, Smile.
Yeah, we're closing the
Uh
year. That's why we're doing Smile because next we have 1 week to close the year out, and we want to
yeah,
do a
yeah.
one-off
Yeah, we want to kick off 2025 with some
with
lions.
Na Sevenya Baudi Shivamo.
We're going back to Africa,
Oh,
baby.
great point. Great point. The plains of Africa. Hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
When's the last time you saw The Lion King? It's been a long time for me.
It's been a really long time for me.
Used to be one of my
Yeah.
favorites. Now I have problems with it, though. We'll get into it. But
Well, it's just Hamlet.
well, my
But
problem, I never understood why once he's grown up, why he doesn't go back.
well, because it's Hamlet and he didn't.
You got to go back. You're like, what? You got to realize, hey, I didn't kill my dad. I should go
Wait,
back.
you're Matt, you sound like Jack Shepard. Am I right? At the end of season 3 of Lost. We have to go back.
Oh yeah, you're right. He did do that. I've heard about that.
What a classic.
Yep. Just like the smoke monster.
Yeah, which ripped off Slam Dunk Ernest.
Oh, of
All
course.
right.
Right.
So happy holidays to you and your families.
When's
And if you
Hanukkah?
don't
Is that
have
going on?
families, just you. Hanukkah, we're encroaching on Christmas this year. First night of Hanukkah is Christmas.
Whoa.
And and happy all the holidays. Every single one of them.
Kwanzaa, that's a thing. I don't know
Sure.
when that is.
And New Year, Auld Lang Syne to you and your families. And uh, we'll be back in 2025
Well, we'll put out another
on.
one next week on the 31st.
Oh, right, right, right. We'll come back for Smile next week, and then
Unless you want me to wait and put it out the day
we'll
after.
do this again. We'll do this again. All
Yeah,
right.
we'll do that whole spiel. I'll just
Yeah,
replay it.
that's right. Love one another. Blood is delicious.
Keep the TVs hot.
And keep the TVs hot and fresh. We have to go back.